Peace and love, eternal love, and KOS. Now, I want to bring in so as we settle down, I want us to begin to understand our ancient peoples, our ancient kin. Our ancient kin did leave everything decoded, but for us, it's decoded for us. And so I want to get into a special topic called the Medu Ntr Decoded. Now, we're finna get into it. Now, the Medu Ntr, the meta is the Medu. We got to understand we've been defining these things wrong by assigning the wrong identification. Medu is the word divine. Medu is the word divine. And our ancient kin, when they use the word Medu Ntr, Neteru, Medu is divine. And nature is law. Divine law, divine nature. So when we're saying we speak the Medu nature, we saying we are the divine nature. This can't be decoded in hieroglyphs. It is the hieroglyphs. It's a difference. The hieroglyphs are the divine nature. What we're talking about, understanding how the divine nature and the natural nature connects. So once again, we just define. Give me one moment. Once again, we just show. It's just that easy. We don't need long lists of documents. We don't need outside scholarship. And if we have outside scholarship, and it hasn't pleaded us a necessary answer. So here is the necessary answer for our community. The Medu Ntr is divine law, divine nature. And so this is nothing you can write. This is nothing you can create. Divine nature cannot be written nor created. This is instructed. You must get the instruction. And this is what prophets call revelation. And this is what we have to understand. All our people who was talking about in the ancients, we are their offspring. So all that nature is inside. It's not outside. That what they did in the outside was for that time period for us to know on the inside. That these people who come from the outside gonna try to take and see all this on the outside. But they ain't gonna know that all that represents what's on the inside. So at the end of the day, to no avail for those who invaded. And now America is free. America is the land of the Medu nature. This is the land of the free. This is the land of the divine. Once we have the right concept to our own self, and once we understand our divine inspiration from our ancient kin, our ancient divine kin, then we can come to the settlement. They left those signs and symbols to reflect what's in. And so I'm finna go forth with the Medu. So, Sufa 31, the law. 1, all ha come. We finna get into it. 1, O you who believe, let it be said. All ha come. This word is the ancient Medu word of Heka. Everyone knows that have done any study that the most powerful thing to understand is understanding Heka. And as we understand Heka, this is not the way our ancient kin, our ancient divine kin wanted us to know the meaning of it. Heka is this word ha-come. Ha-come. Ka. Ha-come. Ha-come. And ha-come, Heka, means the rule, this is all ancient kin. The rule, the truth, the law. So Heka means the rule. Heka means the truth. Heka means the law. And once we understand Medu, we understand nature. Medu, nature. Or the Medu Ntr. You know, it's different ways how our ancestors tongued it. As I say, with the Ntr, it's spelled N-T-R, but it's also spelled N-U-R. So all these things is coming to revelation. And I will bring the test of the proof. So we keep the certifieds. So we keep the documents. So we're going to continue on. Heka is the 29th name of Allah, Hakam, the infinite, the unique, the all-knowing. The source, this is what the truth is. The law is, the rule is, also known as Heka. The source, the well of all form, meaning, and rule. The beginning point from which all lesser law manifests. This is why they label, misassigned the word magic to the word Heka. Heka. They assign magic to it, and that word magic assigned to Heka is a misassignment. Heka comes to the Medu. The Medu, the truth, the divine law, the divine nature, the divine rule. The beginning point from which all lesser law manifests. And so we're going to learn where is that beginning point. 6. Allah is the one, true, and only divine creator. Now this is what our ancient divine kin said. Allah is the one true, is the one only divine creator. So what was called Ra in ancient times was called Allah. If you know your science in the study of words, then you know the Ra or the Ra'ah and the La and the La. See, and this is how we understand language. See, this represents all law. This is how we said it in ancient hip hop. All law. So now when it comes to understanding what is Allah, Allah is the one and true and only divine creator. The first, number 7, the first law, Medu, is divine law. The first law is divine law, which is Medu. Medu nature. Medu nature. Divine law. Divine nature. The first law is divine law, and so the law of Allah. So we now understand why there must be a devotion to wisdom. Yes. So this word Medu, the word Medu means divine. The first law is the Medu Ntr. And I hope y'all do know that word Ntr. Netaru is the word nigger. Niggeru. Nigger. Nigga. Nigger. Niggeru. NGR. Medu nigger. Now, I know that could be hard for some to understand, but if Allah bless you, you will understand. These are the blessings of wisdom. But since we have amongst our understanding that the Medu Ntr has not been deciphered, we must understand that the Medu Ntr has been deciphered. So the word is pointing to nature. Now we speak not with the rows and the L's. Of course, we still got it now. But over time, these things have been misassigned. And so we got to reassign right knowledge. Okay. Getting my shirt together. Thank you. Now we move to number 8. Allah is the divine creator of all things. There we go. Allah is the Medu. You want me to say nature? Okay, I'll say nature. Allah is the Medu nature, the creator of all things. Allah is the Medu. Enuma Medu. Enuma Allah. Medu Natura. Allah is the divine creator of all things. Number 9, the collection of all words, the collection of all ideas, and the collection of all form. There is nothing greater. There's nothing greater than the Medu Allah. Allah is the divine creator of all things. Every word you speak, every ideal you conceive, every form you perceive, there is nothing greater than Allah. As it's written, the first law is divine law. And there's only one true and only divine creator. And we're talking name. Number 10. Thus, all law must come from the Medu, the divine, and Allah. That's powerful. Powerful realization. If you can realize, if you yourself can realize what has been said here, what is being presented here, what is being actually documented for your eyes to see and speaking for your ears to hear. Because I could just get on the video and just speak about this, but I'd rather not. The intent is to bring to the public the knowledge of God. This is what we all seek for as the kingdom. This is what we seek for as the righteousness. If we must enter the kingdom of God, we must know God. And so as you see, we haven't came across the word God in the divine, because we know the word itself is pointing us to. Because remember, God, as it told you in the book, or as people told you, I don't know if they told you, but was the word. God is a word. So we must understand with our minds that spirits can speak. So if spirits can speak, then spirit must speak words. And so all words must come from the law. And all law must come from the divine. So this is important for us to really understand. But first we have to understand. Play it back, read it over, listen to the words written on this page. This documentation should set you free, not just only with the Medu nature, but in all facets of life, of truth. This is divine truth. Anything that come from, you see the word creator. Anything come from the creator, the divine creator, is first divine. You say, what is divine? The collection of all words, the collection of all ideas, the collection of all form. This is what the divine is. And all law must come from the divine and Allah. As all the world, restatement, as all the words, the word was God, and the word was with God. Lean the ear. As all the words of law are born from the Creator. Ra. Create Torah. Allah is the one who created Torah. I hope y'all adepts and masterminds hear me. This is the return of your Medu nature, your divine law. The divine constitution is in existence from our ancient kin, recovered and publicly discovered, posted for public knowledge. They always say, if you find it, then it's your job to post what you find. And so as a duty, consider all the words of law are born from the Creator. Number 12, a law. If you ask in mind, what is a law? Well, a law is a rule given from divine instruction, discovery, or reason of nature. Okay, so nature is a law. All must come from the divine, and law come from the divine. So how reality functions is from the creation of law. And from the creation of law came the form of the universe. So the universe is bound by law with sincerity. So as you are sincere, this divine creation is sincere. A law is a rule. Remember on number 2, a law is a rule. We're talking Heka, what is socially known as Heka. Is a rule, law is a rule given from divine instruction, divine discovery, or divine reason of nature. Have you ever been told what law is? If you have not, there we have it. If you have, in your conscience, which is right. A law, we're going to read it again. A law is a rule. So you hear these state, federal, local, county. Remember, a law is a rule. A rule is given from divine instruction. A rule is given from divine instruction. Rule is given from divine discovery. And a rule is given from divine reason of nature. So keep that in mind when we say the one law. The one law is what they call our ancient divine kin called ma'at, as a way of understanding socially what is being spoken on here. So you had Heka, ma'at. Heka, ma'at. And these two words reign supreme in our ancient divine kin. So you got Ka, and so you see the word Ka, calm, Hakam. And you might say it in English, how come? See, this our old thing's been hijacked from the ancient peoples. But now we know what the ancient peoples wanted, intended, purposed for us to know. 13. The existence of such laws. We're talking about what we just read above. Divine instruction, divine discovery, or divine reason of nature. The existence of such laws are self-evident. So this is where divine meets knowledge of self. These laws that were just mentioned as divine is self-evident. So you can't depend on them to know yourself. You can't depend on them to know yourself. And this is what they will not tell you. And who is they? Let's keep it short for they who make laws. Those who make laws don't want you to know this divine law. Because once the self become evident, meaning not just self-aware, we're saying self-evident. Self-evident by the existence of the wisdom that frames them. So this we have the beginning. The beginning point, number 5, from which all lesser law manifests, is from wisdom. By the existence of the wisdom that frames them. And that's why to enter the kingdom, you must respect wisdom. So 14, what is the Medu nature? Is defined with 14. Medu nature, divine law, is the law that defines the spirit. Divine law is the law that defines the spirit. So when you read in your scriptures, when you study in your scriptures, that they follow the letter of the law, but not the spirit of the law. And be you renewed in spirit. Those who walk in spirit does not walk in flesh. So now these studies of these scriptures should now make sense. Divine law is the law that defines the spirit. What else divine law defines? Divine law defines not only the spirit, also the purpose, and also the instruction of Allah. Through existence, not fate, through existence. So you will only understand this through existing. If you do not exist, then divine law do not apply. Medu Ntr Divine Law. Remember, a law is a reason of nature. Medu Ntr Divine Law. I hope this sinks into the heart. 15. The key of all divine law is the golden rule. Have you heard of that before? The golden rule. They said if you know the golden rule, you'll be successful. So, of course, our ancient peoples want our being to be successful, for our well-being to be whole, to enjoy what they enjoy, the highest intelligences and the greatest physicals. And this is divine law. What's the golden rule? 16, that all are equal under the law of all law and subject to it. So all are equal under the law of all law. So self-evident. Where does self stand when it comes to recognizing its creator? Are these characteristics of your creator that created a paradise, that created a heaven, that placed it on earth? Is this your creator? Is your creator divine? Divine law is the golden rule. The golden rule is the golden law. So when you see the golden or you see the yellow brick road, you got to put 2 and 2 together. The light, the golden, the divine law, the self. So understand, all are equal under the law of all law and subject to it. So if all are equal under the law of Allah, then we all are equal to Allah. And we must understand. To be under is to understand, and to be subject is to know. And if we know that we under the law of Allah, then the law of Allah is divine. And then we are divine by nature of wisdom. So they may not see your creator, but they see the creator self, which is you. Self. 17. Natural law. Natural law. Ntr. Medu Ntr law. So when we're talking about understanding the connection of how the creation exists, this universe exists because the divine law exists. And the divine law always exists. It was never hidden. It can never be hidden. It can never be coded. It can never be wiped away. It's too large for a minute organism to change creation. So natural law is the law that defines. Natural law is the law that defines the operation of the will of Allah through existence in the form of the world. So if you wonder why you got form, why you have a size, shape, this is why. Because it's natural law. It's natural. when we're talking about the operation of the will of our Creator. Your form that you exist in is of the world. And this is natural law. So by divine law, natural law exists. And by natural law, you exist. To enjoy both natural law and divine law. But that's what's been hidden. Natural law and divine law. This is what, when you hide it from the public knowledge, it's called occult law. So check out my Sufa on occult law. Understanding, I think it's titled Understanding the Occult Law. And you'll get a generalization of what's being hidden from you and why you don't see divine law and natural law. 18. Therefore, a competent man recognizes divine law not simply because he has been told. A competent self is a self that recognizes divine law. Not simply because I just made you aware through a video. Not simply because you heard the words that you haven't heard before. This doesn't give you the competence. The competence has to recognize the Medu nature, divine existence, divine law. Not simply because you yourself has been told. This is what. But that he or she can see and reason. See and reason to some of the logic in the mind of the divine Creator. See, so the divine Creator moves and is understood through logic. But logic don't work through the physical. The logic work on the divine mind. This is why everything is so simple for the divine Creator, because it's logical. See, it should be so logical that it's natural. See, but now you're going to get to why you haven't heard of these two specific. You know, the 5 that fell and the 2 that held. You know, Circle 7, Drew Ali, brought us forth. See, brought us forth unto an understanding that was greater than our education system. And our educational system did not teach self-knowledge. So anyone who have graduated after becoming a freshman, sophomore, junior, and then a senior, know that if or if not, they have been taught self-knowledge. And this is what we are presenting as the Medu Ntr Deciphered. So now to next part, number 20. Yet a law made by men can never be greater than a natural law. Did we hear that? A law Remember what we were just reading above. Let me connect it for you. A law, which is a rule. A rule, which is a law, is given from divine instruction. It's given from divine instruction. Divine wisdom is given from divine wisdom. But yet a law made by men, a law, any law, every law made by men can never be greater than a natural law. So if a law made by men can never be greater than a natural law, you see why you haven't been told of natural law. And these are the very most words can't express. Thinking up words don't even express it. It's knowing. Knowing divine law and natural law will make you the best success ever. These are things I wish, when you get older, you say, if I knew that then. And so these are things that you wish you knew then. But I'm even happier that I know now. Because as you grow in mind age, a lot of things become irrelevant. And when you're growing in number, you're growing in maturity of mind. And so our minds must know certain knowings to make it a mind. Otherwise, you're living in bliss of ignorance. And that's not a virtue. And wisdom is not ignorance. So keep that in mind. No matter what name on it, a law made by men can never be greater than a natural law. And so, or divine law. That should be logical, right? Oh, man. See, y'all help me to learn something when this is all brought to the table. Because this is how you get it. 21. Nor can laws made by men ever be greater than a dictate or decree that gains legitimacy to the extent it does not contradict divine law and natural law and possess the consent of the people. Did y'all see and hear and feel that? Nor can laws made by men gain legitimacy to the extent it does not contradict divine law and natural law, and it possess the consent of the people. Why? An unjust decree or a dictate by men can never be considered law. Divine, Medu, Heka, Heka. Unjust can never be considered law. Even if such threat and force is used. Now you see why machines and missiles and bombs and wars and rumors of wars has been coming to your ears so your mind can be filled. Because and unjust can never be considered law, not by threat or force. Now you see why jails or cages are put up everywhere to throw you in and put you away from your family, and it try to shut you out of existence and give you the bare minimum below a slave wage, eating the poorest of food, the poorest of receiving the poorest of dignity from others. This could lead to a larger spear, as we see. But divine law is near. Divine law is near. 23. A valid 23. All wisdom restates. All valid law can be reasoned and argued logically. This is talking about law. I'm glad I just had the revelation, because they put a barricade to bar out the people from learning knowledge. And so they gave the people this elusive knowledge that they call God. And you see there's no such thing as the law of God. And so the correct verbiage phrase is divine law, aka Medu Heka. So when we understand wisdom, then we'll understand divinity. Men are and will ever be always a threat to divine law and natural law if this education is not spread to every self. Every self need this education to protect themselves from men and groups of spirits looking to bring you an unjust. So to protect yourself, you don't have to go to no lawyer school. You don't have to go through no bar exam. You don't have to have a public defense. All these are an unjust decree or dictate by men. And remember, 24, yet unjust and contradictory laws cannot be argued logically. So their unjust laws cannot even be argued. It's by nature illogical, unreasonable, and therefore invalid. "25. A faithful man to Allah therefore has the moral duty to protect just law." A faithful man to Allah therefore has the moral duty to protect just law and challenge unjust law. Protect fair law and challenge unfair law. This is the only way that you will live in this time. Not the person, challenge the law. I repeat, don't challenge the person, don't challenge the body, challenge the law. This is the beginning point to all challenges. And there's not a challenge afterward once this is understood, if you understand what's coming forth out of the cabinets of my mouth. So we finna get ready to finish up because I'm getting parched. I haven't Myself, I haven't eaten in 3 days, so I'm gonna have to cut this out because I haven't been drinking either, so I'm gonna have to get to it. Close down, drying, the tongue, the voice. You understand these things once you really experience these things. They trying to get play. That was unjust. Notification. All right. Let's finish up. 26. An honorable man before Allah has the solemn duty to defend against injustice and to stamp out tyrants wherever they may be. The Medu Heka Deciphered. Peace and KOS.